of Saturday, September 27th, and the huge Melbourne Cricket Ground stands, able to accommodate 120,000 people, are empty. But in a few hours, the scene will be excitingly different. The quietness spreads to the city itself, but as the morning wears on, the traffic tempo accelerates. All roads lead to the MCG for the game of the century, the VFL Grand Final between defending premiers, Carlton Blues, and the Richmond Tigers. A carnival atmosphere prevails as spectators from every part of Australia make for the entrances. And Richmond supporters are confident this is going to be their year. In the Tigers' dressing room, players and officials are also confident. Richmond earned entry into the Grand Final the hard way, scraping into the four by winning 7 of their last 8 club games. But they've been at their top during the final series, defeating Geelong by 128 points in the first semi-final and Collingwood by 26 points in the preliminary final. In their first round match against Carlton at the MCG, Richmond were beaten by 29 points, but avenged the loss at Princes Park by an identical margin, so that in every sense of the word, today's match is a decider. This is the third time Richmond and Carlton have met in a grand final, the Tigers winning the 2 previous encounters in 1921 and 32. This season's combination planned to complete the hat trick. The Blues won their first pennant in 21 years last season, and Carlton coach Ron Barassi is sure his side is primed to become the first club for 9 years to win successive premierships. A feat Barassi's old club, Melbourne, performed in 59 and 60. The Blues and the Tigers are evenly weighted, and the all-time record crowd of 119,165 roars its delight as Big John Nichols leads the premiers onto the arena. Rated one of the greats of the game, Nichols has played in more than 200 VFL matches and represented Victoria for 9 consecutive seasons. This year, he was named captain of the state and All-Australian teams. A local product, Dean's in his second year as captain. Strong and rugged, he's kicked more than a century of goals for the Tigers, and in 64 was their leading goal kicker. Umpire Jeff Crouch is to officiate in his 5th grand final. From the bounce, Nichols wins the knockout, but Richmond dash in to snatch the initiative away from Carlton. Northey bursts away, and his well-placed pass gives Moore a chance to beat Lofts close to the goal square. Richmond has a scoring opportunity within the opening 45 seconds. From an acute angle, Moore's drop punt sends the ball through the center for the first goal of the match. Spurred on by their early success, the Tigers attack again, but Big John Nichols marks well in defense. At his best on the big occasion, Nichols' perfectly executed pass to Gould gives Carlton a chance to turn the attack. Players from both sides feel the tension of the fiery opening, and fundamental mistakes occur in their eagerness to gain possession. Using their pace to advantage, Richmond has the Blues' defense under pressure, and after 8 minutes, Hart receives a free within comfortable kicking range. His left footer is right on target as Richmond takes a 2-goal lead. It's 12 points to 0. Keeping play up forward, Richmond are determined to drive home their advantage. Keen anticipation gives Hart a mark from behind Hall and Gould, and the Blues are still in trouble. Gill defends desperately, but the Tigers are on top in the first quarter and constantly bustle the Blues. Bowden's kick is wide, but earns a point for Richmond. It's 13 points to 0. There are some passages of scrambling play as each side's spoiling methods prevent good handling, and tackling is also effective. Carlton need a score to boost their confidence. And here's a chance as Crosswell gets a free. But it's wasted as Strang forces the ball out of bounds. The Blues are starting to settle down, and from about 20 yards out, the constructive Nichols charges from the forward line to beat Richardson and mark cleverly, giving Carlton their best scoring chance so far. The easy kick is offline for a behind, but it opens Carlton scoring. As Richmond's half-forward Dean comes right down the ground, he's shadowed by Carlton's halfback Fennell, who gets a free. But his kick is also wide for a behind, and Richmond lead by 13 points to 2. With their teamwork steadily improving, Carlton are looking dangerous. Jesselenko sends a well-judged pass to Robertson. But Sheedy is heavily grounded by Jackson and paid a free. A foolish mistake by Jackson, depriving the Blues of a goal-scoring opportunity. Green interferes with Nichols. Knee in the back, says umpire Crouch. The durable Nichols seems unperturbed as he calmly kicks Carlton's first goal after 19 minutes. Richmond 13 points to 8. Carlton are getting their share of play and attack again. Silvani is paid the mark as Richmond tend to become over-anxious in defense. Silvani's a long way out but is on line, and in the face of rugged opposition, Wall snaps a behind. Carlton fighting back trail by just 5 points. Having overcome the threat of Richmond's blistering early thrust, Carlton appear to be playing with greater purpose. Using their superior physical strength, the Blues rush a behind, and at the end of the first quarter, Richmond leads 2 goals to 14 points to Carlton's 1 goal for 10 points. At the opening of the second quarter, Green outleaps Nichols, and his tremendous hit-out finds the open spaces, giving Richmond scope to attack. But outspeeding the Tigers, Gould nullifies the advantage and kicks to the outer flank. Outmaneuvering Robertson and Fennell, Burke handballs to the ever-ready Norby, who swings away from the pack to snap a left footer on the turn, and it's through for a behind. Richmond's pace, passing and anticipation allows them plenty of room in which to move, and they storm Carlton's goal. But now the Blues' defense is considerably tighter. Grabbing the ball from the pack, Brown tries a hurried snap, but it's only a behind. Bartlett passes to Barrett, who marks in the goal square. The moving of Barrett to full forward is paying dividends as he kicks the Tigers' third goal, increasing their lead to 11 points. Easily beating Hall, Hart takes a mark in front, with Richmond again poised to bombard Carlton's goal. Hart is accurate with his long drop punt to the goal square, but an illegal tackle of Dean brings a free, and a simple chance for Richmond. Through the center for the Tigers' fourth goal, and they take their lead to 17 points. Thinking Richmond could break away, Carlton lifts their game to counterattack. It's a vital period, and reacting to the tension, players tend to needle each other. Crosswell's kick is wide for another behind. The Blues will need to improve their kicking if they're to get back into the game. Grabbing the ball as it comes out of the pack, Barrett's precision-like kick is far too high for Locks to intercept, and it's through for Barrett's second and Richmond's fifth goal. The bounding Barrett is in everything and is paid a free. Richmond are capitalizing on Carlton's foolish errors, which are proving expensive. Ronaldson marks strongly in the forward pocket and has a good chance from an angle. Through it goes for another goal as Richmond increase their lead to 28 points. Richmond are also winning in the air as Owen outjumps Walls. It's a bone-shaking crash and Walls goes down pretty heavily, but is paid a free 5 minutes into time on. Recovering quickly, he punts powerfully to score Carlton's first goal of the quarter and their second of the match. But the Blues still trail by 22 points. Striving for another quick goal before the interval, Carlton are held out by the eager Tigers. Cooler under pressure, Richmond takes play towards the center, where Jones marks as the quarter comes to its conclusion. At halftime, Richmond leads 6 goals, 5, 41 points, to Carlton's 2 goals, 7, 19 points. For the third quarter, Carlton shifts Jezelenko back to full forward from centre half forward. The Blues immediately tear into the attack, and balking cleverly, Crane kicks downfield. Strang tries a kick off the ground that comes off, and the Tigers are quick to follow up their good fortune. Burke kicks down the centre, and anticipating the trend of play, Northey follows the ball to snap a shot. It's wide, but Northey is paid a free kick, having been heavily tackled as he kicks. And with only 20 seconds of the quarter gone, Northey goals to take Richmond's total to 47 points, 28 ahead of Carlton. Strang pulls down a good mark in front of Jackson. He kicks for Bergen, but Walls and the dashing Quirk combine to regain possession for Carlton as they turn the attack. Jones and Beard spoil each other, but Beard recovers quickly to kick Richmond out of immediate danger. Dean marks strongly to send Richmond into attack. Northey is again positioned to grab possession off a pack, but his kick is intercepted by Lofts. Richmond coach Tom Hazy appears impassive as Sheedy is awarded the mark over Jones, allowing Richmond to momentarily keep Carlton at bay. Carlton's closer defense is making it harder for the Tigers now as they set about trying to wear down their faster-moving rivals. Richmond takes the play away from the Blues. Burke handballs to Dean, who's playing a fine captain's game. The speedy Quirk closes on Dean, but he gets a pass away to Northey, who effectively resists Waite's tackle. Northey's kick to the goal square is brilliantly marked by Waite in defense, and the promising Richmond movement breaks down. Waite's long clearance kick to the flank is marked by Hall, who plays on to Quirk. Then to Jones as the Blues produce their most polished teamwork of the game. A great pass to Gallagher, who handballs to Jackson at full pace, and he goes on the run, sparking off a thrilling fight back by Carlton. The skillful experience of Nichols is a telling factor. He taps the ball out to Gallagher, who left puts it through the center as Carlton reduce their deficit to 16 points. Carlton storms goalwards again, but marking behind Jackson, Burke flashes into the clear. Burke's kick is marked by Jones, allowing Carlton to keep Richmond under pressure. Jackson fumbles, but covering the lapse, pivots to snap his second goal of the quarter. And now it's only 11 points to difference. Richmond 48 points, Carlton 37. Carlton are getting a great deal of the play at this stage, and their confidence is riding high as they continue hammering away at Richmond's goal. Walls kicks high, and Nichols grabs the ball in a pack, pivoting to drive it through the middle for another full pointer. The Blues are now only 5 points behind. Slow motion clearly defines the hard struggle waged by Richmond to keep their slender lead intact. The Blues are playing them closely, and with vigorous tackling force Richmond to kick hurriedly, and mistakes occur. Carlton pounced on the ball, Robertson kicking down the ground, where in a remarkable passage of individual play, Crosswell completely outgenerals the opposition to score one of the finest goals of the grand final. It's a thriller as Carlton hits the front for the first time. They lead 50 points to 48. Carlton confused the Richmond defense as Nichols continues playing a vital role. Bergen fails to gather the ball cleanly and loses possession in Crosswell's tackle. Always ready to grasp an opportunity, Quirk is a menace to Richmond and again puts Carlton on the attack. Richmond's defense is again hard pressed, and as Jeselenko is taken to ground, he snaps his first goal of the match. The goal umpire checks with field umpire Crouch, who gives the all clear. Here's a closer look at the movement. Quirk tears down the wing. Jeselenko spoils Sheedy's attempt to mark, and with his clever recovery kicks a memorable goal for Carlton to lead 56 points to 48. Richmond needs to rally as the game tends to slip away from them, but they lack cohesion, and Gill grabs possession. Richmond marks well in defense, but Jeselenko is paid a free kick down the ground. The ball strikes the goalpost, and it's a behind. Carlton 57 points, Richmond 48. Players tear in fearlessly after the ball with the rock-hard Jeselenko in the thick of things. Nichols continually drives his team on. But Jackson is forced back several yards as he vainly attempts to recover the ball. Beating Jackson for possession, Dean sends to Hart, setting off a thrilling Richmond counterattack. Brown's pass is taken by Moore, but he's crashed to the ground in a savage tackle. Tempers flare, and even the trainer takes a hand in the matter. An ugly incident seems probable until the umpires settle things down. Then Crouch pays Moore a free. It's an easy shot for Richmond's second goal of the quarter, and at three-quarter time they trail by 4 points. It's Carlton 58 points to 54. In typical storming fashion, Barassi warns Carlton against complacency. He knows every facet of grand final football, having participated in 8 as a player. In his 5th year as coach of the Blues, he demands players follow his advice, or else. And in the center, Barrett urges Richmond on. With tension mounting, the scene is set for a fiercely contested final quarter. Spearheading an attack, Strang outpaces Jackson and Hopkins to gain possession, but Gould takes a spectacular mark to turn Richmond back. Sheedy's mark is depicted in slow motion as Richmond take control. Green marks well over Crosswell. Barrett almost loses the ball, but recovers, and together with Green, orders Carlton's players away. It's a long shot, but earns a point for Richmond, and in a game of this nature, single points could well decide the issue. Carlton 58 points, Richmond 55. A chance for Richmond to regain the lead as Rothmans is paid a free. His attempt from about 65 yards out is just offline for a behind, but the Tigers are now within 2 points of Carlton. Hart marks in front of Gould, giving the Tigers another chance to goal. But Hart's shot is also offline as Richmond register their third successive behind. They close to within a point, and the game is building up into a highly exciting climax, as from a sharp angle about 60 yards out on the members' flank, Barrett kicks a magnificent goal, taking the Tigers back into a 5-point lead. It's Richmond 63 points to 58. The slow-motion camera catches the dramatic leap by the big men. Gathering off the pack, Clay turns to kick downfield. Carlton appears to have the ball covered, but there's a misunderstanding between Gould and Gill loses it over his shoulder. Rothmans grabs possession and passes to Norby, who hooks a left footer through the center. Richmond lead by 11 points. Carlton require a major effort to get back in the game. They show signs of tiring and are probably feeling the effect of their non-stop third quarter. Within reach of the flag, Richmond tackle tenaciously to further undermine the Blues' confidence. But the high-leaping wall spoils Bergen's mark, then cleverly wins the ball from Bergen and Richardson. From a ball up, Green out-jumps Walls, knocking the ball to Bartlett, who's flattened by Jesselenko. Now on the ball, Jesselenko dashes down the flank and with a masterful piece of play turns the attack for Carlton. This is their big chance, but Beard spoils Nichols' attempt to mark. Carlton rush behind, but still trail by 11 points. With time running out, the Blues battle on, Crane beating 4 Tigers to gain possession. He has a hurried shot, but the ball swings across the face of the goal for a behind. It's Richmond 71 points to Carlton 60. As Barrett sets himself for a mark, Gill tears in, shouldering him to the ground. Only a behind, but Richmond are now 2 full goals ahead. And as they're having most of the play, 12 points represents a comfortable lead with 22 minutes of the quarter gone. But Carlton have time to make up the leeway. However, the Tigers' relentless spirit is at its peak. In the heat of the moment, Walls foolishly pushes Sheedy in the back and is penalized 15 yards. Bond marks in the goal square, and his kick should seal Richmond's victory. Hapey still shows little sign of emotion as they enter time on. Bond easily drives the ball through, taking Richmond to a 19-point lead. Carlton are disorganized, and from right in front, Bartlett dashes in to snap a goal. "25 points the difference in Richmond's favor with only seconds remaining. They've outplayed the Blues, who score only 2 points in the final quarter. There's the siren, bringing the game to an end, and the flag to Richmond. They win 12 goals, 13 85 points, to Carlton's 8 goals, 12 60 points. Richmond Richmond becomes only the third club to win the VFL flag from fourth position since the revised final system was adopted in 1931. Ironically, the first to do so was Carlton in 1945. It's Richmond's 7th premiership and their second in 3 years. Skipper Roger Dean is chaired and coach Tom Hafey acclaims. He took Richmond to their first pennant in 24 years in '67, and today's victory is his second premiership in only 4 seasons with the club. The Tigers are fine in '69.